count off. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. 1, 1, 1. Shifu, 99 call-out, so all 99 members are most likely here and accounted for, sir. Hey, you. Yeah, you, the second number 1 from my right. Sir, yes, sir. Here, a birthday present for you. What? Shifu, I didn't know that you knew all of our birthdays. What a kind heart you have, Shifu. You are more of a man than we'll ever be, sir. I'm really sorry, but it's not my birthday. Lengzi says, a cub who disrespects others soon feels the disciplinary bite of an elder. That present isn't for you, it's for your younger brother's wife's younger brother. Tell him I said hi and happy birthday, won't you? Yes, sir. Shifu, I can't believe you remember that much about each of us. Shifu, I'm so moved that I can't stop crying. I should probably leave them to their alone time. Alright, meeting over. Everyone, head for your posts. Dismissed. Sir! Yo, were you guys there the whole time? I got a call from Sheena. She's already filled me in. Sounds like you're out to get in my way again. I have absolutely no intention of interrupting your investigation. I simply request that you grant me permission to investigate the Alabastian embassy. And what if I say no?
Objection!
Agent Lang, this man is my subordinate. As I have received permission from the ambassador, he is to be extended the same rights. Sorry, sis, but it's not that simple. Alabasta has the strictest immigration regulations in the world, or didn't you know? Even among my men, about only half of them were admitted into the country. Besides, any more cooks in the kitchen and we might spoil the soup, if you get what I mean. How dare you make such assumptions? Don't take this the wrong way, but I thought I was in charge of Alabasta and Small Combo. Look, try to understand, okay? Things over in Alabasta are a bit of a mess right now. What do you mean by a bit of a mess? No one told you? We had an incident in Alabasta as well. This is what we call a decision based on the investigation, Mr. Prosecutor. Look, Orvie, just let us in already. Is there a problem here, Agent Lang? I don't know what voice to do for this guy. Not really, just them in a discussion about whether or not to let these guys in. Ambassador Alba, I ask that you please allow these people to join the investigation. Having a debate because of my country. I'm terribly sorry for placing your good people in that kind of situation. It is all because I lack the strength to govern well. Please, it is nothing of the sort, Ambassador. You weakling, Kirkus! Curse your frailty and inability to effect change in your country. What are you? The thing is, investigations conducted in my country have been under Agent Lang. And it is my judgment that in order to minimize disruption in the investigation, I should leave everything up to Agent Lang. Yeah, you see. Oh, no way! Oh, I forgot this guy's voice. Ambassador Alba, I ask that you please reconsider letting them into Alabasta. What's that? My very own secretary has been murdered in the Ablaze embassy. And he was apparently caught up in some very shady deals, completely unbeknownst to me. So I ask for your cooperation in our investigation. These aren't much, but I hope they can cover for your travel expenses to Baba someday. Alright, get it. Even if you beg Ambassador Albert, I still have to give the final okay anyway.
Alright, you hear that, Mr. Edgeworth? We're in.
Not so fast, my little crow girl. You're still a witness in the Baba murder. So I'd like to ask you to please stay in the Republic of Baba. Bit of gumshoe, please take good care of Kay for me. Yes, sir. Sounds good to me. The fewer troublemakers, the better.
Hey, Mr. Edgeworth.
Yes.
So I wanted to ask for a while now, but that lady over there, is she who I think she is?
That's right. I didn't introduce the two of you yet. Francisca von Kamm, the prosecutorial prodigy. It's nice to see you again.
Oh, I knew it. You're the whip lady.
You may address me as Miss von Kamm.
Miss von Kamm, I leave the investigation of Ablaze in your hands.
Thanks. Rest assured, I will outsmart both the smuggling ring and the Yatagarasu. The smuggling ring, huh? Perhaps I should ask San Francisco a bit more about them before I head to Ablaze. And I mustn't forget to thank Ambassador Pellegrino for all that he has done for me. You've made such progress in your investigation in such a short period of time. It's truly amazing. Agent Hicks, who I had requested, was cut down before he completed his task. There is no room for further failure in my perfect investigation. In spite of it, I believe you were able to obtain some insight into the ring, correct? It was nothing. I simply made some detections based on the smuggled item I was following. You mean the Barbalese ink? But why are there restrictions on the export of Barbalese ink to begin with? That's classified Interpol info. Francisco, as your subordinate, I'm part of your investigation. Don't you think it would be beneficial if I was as well informed as you? Point taken. Very well, I'll fill you in. Recently, we discovered some very well-made counterfeit bills circulating in Zenfire. Counterfeit bills? Yes, as you may have deduced. The counterfeits are being made with Laval's special Barbalese ink. And it's virtually impossible to distinguish bills made with Barbalese ink from real ones. Thus it was natural for Interpol to keep an eye on the Republic of Barbad. That's where this document comes into play, correct? Correct. Mr. Kochen was smuggling large amounts of Barbalese ink. Furthermore, he was charged with running the embassy's printing equipment. That's all the evidence I need. That is all the evidence I need to know that he was the head of the smuggling ring. However, there remains one tiny problem. Let me guess, you still have yet to find the counterfeit bills or the smuggled ink. Yes, and while we're listing things, I might as well add that the counterfeit plates to the pile. Since we haven't been able to locate any of these items in the Barbalese embassy, we're looking into the Alabastian embassy next. Doesn't matter where they're hidden, mark my words, I will find them. Okay. Ambassador Pellegrino, I'm in your debt. No, it's nothing. Because it's all about what I can do for you, I'm afraid. I only ask that you please bring Manny's killer to justice. I will, Ambassador, on my honor. Wow, you're so sensational, you've really piqued my curiosity. I know the answer much, but know that I'm giving it to you wholeheartedly. No, that's quite right. Oh well, how about this then? And what exactly is it? It's fountain penning. Known as Barbalese ink, it's made exclusively in Baba. So, this is Barbalese ink. We make it with crystal oil, which is mined from mineral mines. Please accept this ink. One dip of your fountain pen in this, and you can write for hours in your organizer. Unfortunately for me, the ink in my pen just happened to have run out. I gladly accept your gracious gift. Great, wonderful. I guarantee to you that writing with our ink is an unforgettable experience. And since we don't export it, if you run out, you are always welcome to come and visit our fair nation. Talk about cornering the customer along with the market. Well, shall we get going? What's wrong, Kay?
I didn't get permission to enter Alabaster, so we're going to gather whatever info we can over on the BUTZ side, okay?
Alright, I'm counting on you two.
Right, and I'm counting on you and Miss Von Connor to sniff out clues in Alabaster. Oh, and Mr. Edgeworth, if you happen to come across my phony, you let them know. You let me know, okay? If you tell me, I'll rush on over straight away no matter where you are.
I'll let you know when the time comes. Ugh. What do you think you're doing to my subordinate? Oh my god. You're... Edgy! Oh, thank heavens you're here! I'm in a really, really big pickle, your lordship. The raven, it appeared, poof, and then disappeared, swoosh. And though I am the steel samurai, my sword, it... I'm so confused, I don't know what anything means anymore. Who is this fruitcake? I am Larry of the House of BUTZ, married of Neo Tokyo, my lady. Now I remember, this person is one of your friends, isn't he, Miles? Yes, frighteningly enough, he is. Hey, what's up with that answer? Your best bud is in a bind, and you act like it's no big deal. What sort of bind are we talking about here? The suspect kind. I accidentally became a suspect in a murder. I see, that is quite the bind. Not that we're in the least bit surprised. Yes, I pretty much expected this news. From the instant I saw this unlucky face. His name is Larry BUTZ. I've known him since grade school, and for as long as I've known him, he has been the world's largest source of trouble with a capital T. Hey, what kind of introduction is that? You're so mean, Edgy. If you're not careful, you might find your tiny number of friends go down by one. That was uncalled for. Besides, you're... Wait, hold on. Larry, it was you? You're the one who wrote my Steel Samurai autograph. Hmm? Oh, you didn't notice earlier. I even winked at you through my headpiece. What is going on, and why are you beet red? Sorry, but could you not speak to me right now? Oh, sorry, am I interrupting your comical yet melodramatic play? So this is the incident you mentioned earlier. Mr. Prosecutor, this man, this childhood friend of yours, is our prime suspect. Of what, you ask? Of the murder of a man who snuck into this embassy, Master II. Master 2? Or the second? Only Larry could get himself yet into another mess as fine as this. No matter what the facts seem to say, Larry is not the type to commit murder. Still, it's a rather daunting stroke of misfortune I've struck. I have to prove that Larry BUTZ is innocent of all wrongdoing. Chief, we've identified the victim. Good work. I'll take that report now. Agent Lang, would you mind if I took a peek at this as well? What did I tell you earlier, Mr. Prosecutor? Don't get in my way. There's only enough flesh here to feed one wolf, and that one is me. So no, you may not take a peek. But, Agent Lang... Oh. God, there's so many voices to do in this episode. Agent Lang, will you allow an investigator such as myself to take a look? Ah, yes, of course. You, let the detective see the file. You're Detective Bad. You're the prosecutor, Miss Edgeworth, right? Fancy meeting you here, Detective. You weren't expecting me. Ever since that day 7 years ago, I've chased after the Yatagarasu non-stop. I even pressured Nepal to keeping me in the loop, in case a card was ever found.
It's incredible, the dedication to the case.
Detective Bad knows the Yatagrasu's MO very well, and his passion for the chase hasn't died down these 7 long years. It's something I can respect. But Detective Bad, I must ask, are you gonna make an ally out of this prosecutor? My only goal is to arrest Yatagrasu. If he can get to the bottom of this case, then I'm willing to share info with him.
I am in your debt, Detective Bad. About the murder of the Master 2, would you be willing to fill me in on a few details?
When the Yatagrasu showed up, Agent Lang and I took ourselves off guard duty and put ourselves in charge of directing things at this crime scene, taking advantage of the chaos. Master 2nd, he broke into this embassy, probably to steal some treasure or another.
And I suppose he lost his life when he was forced to fight someone else in this room? Why exactly was that man placed under arrest, Detective?
That samurai.
He was born looking suspicious, but not for the reasons you suspect, I assure you. As you can plainly see, he is completely harmless.
Well, it was just a random guess. It's not like he's actually under arrest. Tonight, here at the Alabastian Embassy, Ambassador Alba was to give a commemorative speech. And that's when the Yatagrasu showed. Keep in mind, the Yatagrasu isn't who I'm talking about right now. No seats for the guests who had been called to sit in them were empty.
No show. Who was it that failed to take their seat?
The Steel Samurai. Until the speech was to begin, each member of the entire Steel Samurai family was to wait in a separate room. However, for some weird reason, that man was spotted in a different location than his assigned room at that time.
And where was he?
He was on the roof, one of his legs down a chimney. That chimney leads directly into this room. Ugh. Larry BUTZ, you've really outdone yourself this time. What were you thinking?
In any case, I believe it's high time for me to start my investigation. Let's talk to him.
Larry, there are a few things I need to ask you about.
Hey, how about that? I've got a few things I've got to ask you too.
What is it?
It's like both you and him. How is it that the two of you always manage to have some cute or hot girl by your side? And Frenzy, what about that promise you made to me?
Promise? What promise?
The one where you said you would model for my next book, Frenzy's Whippity Whip Trip.
Ow!
I made no such promise. Ever since grade school, we've had a certain saying about Larry. When something smells, it's usually the buzz. One needs to look no further than this man to find the king of troublemakers. As I recall, aren't you calling yourself Loris Dioxnim now?
That's Dioxin! Loris Dioxnim! Get that straight in your head, Edgy!
Ow, ow, ow! Now I remember, you're that rude, pale imitation of a real artist. No, you got it all wrong. I gave up on the Loris business. Besides, when Bangeline left me and my heart in pieces, that's when Mindy walked into my life. She's been so good to me that I wanted to help her in some way. I figured I could through this Steel Samurai outfit. Your inane blathering makes less and less sense each time we meet. Well, I believe he's saying that he picked up the part-time job as a Steel Samurai so that he may attempt to capture the heart of the actress who plays the Pink Princess. You got it. I knew what you knew. Oh my god. I knew you'd know what I meant, Edgy. Not really. It's not so much as I understood, but a simple deduction based on your usual modus operandi, Larry. Larry, I'd like you to confess right now to everything you did tonight. Confess? Hey, don't tell me you suspect me too. Nonsense. I don't believe you have the mental acuity needed to plan and execute a murder. However, we are talking about you here, so I find it hard to believe that nothing happened. Past experience has taught me that you are always at the center of some insane event. Edgy, how can you be so mean stabbing me with your words like that? Unfortunately, I don't have the time to search out a key to unlock your heart this time. So I suggest that you cooperate and tell me what you know.
Okay, I get it. Just stop Frenzy from whipping me from behind. So, I guess you know what I did, right, Edgy? I can't even begin to imagine. However, I imagine that whatever you were up to was probably beyond my imagination. So you'll tell me what exactly you did, Larry. Nope, not yet, Edgy. It'll take more than that to loosen my lips. A lot more! Confess. Now. Oof. Okay, well, I was up on the roof. What exactly were you doing up there? Oh, you know, that wintry custom and the legendary hero. Legendary? Hero? Santa Claus. Santa Claus? I wanted to do the thing he does, so I climbed up on one of those chimneys. But when I got there was a smoke pouring out of the chimney. Oh my god. And? Well, I couldn't go down the chimney with smoke coming up, right? So I gave up. Larry, you do realise that the Santa Claus does not exist, right? Of course I know, I did graduate from junior high, you know. Then you should also understand this. If Santa was real, he would be the biggest unlawful trespasser in history. Ah, crud! It is your attempt to imitate Santa that has landed you as a prime suspect in this murder. Come on, man. What's so wrong with pretending to be Santa? Let's start with the fact that it will be the Ides of March in a matter of hours. Santa only visits home on December 24th. That's in December, you nitwit. No! Hey, wait a sec. We're not in court. Okay. Let's look at this cool dead body. So, this is the victim of the Mask 2. What is with his gaudy outfit? You don't know about Master Mask? A few months ago, this thief caused a lot of havoc on the populace. So, the thief is separate from the Yasagarasu. I thought they were for a while, because their MO and targets were different. Master likes high-value trinkets and jewels, and being gaudy is his signature. Yamshu was in charge of that investigation, so he'd know more about the mask. That's alright. All I'd probably hear are tales of his failure anyway. You haven't changed a bit, I see. In any case, let's get started here, shall we? I would rest until I've inspected every suspicious-looking cranny. This is suspicious. So, this is the murder weapon in this case. There's blood on the blade. It's a rather sweeping sword, isn't it? What did you expect? It's still Samurai's daddy's secondary weapon. I only call it his secondary weapon because, although he uses his sword in most of his battles, it's his trusty samurai spear that he turns to in a real fight. You sure know quite a lot about the Steel Samurai. That's only because I saw the stage show earlier. The owner of the sword is the Steel Samurai, or in other words, Larry. I should probably ask him about it, as detrimental as it is proving him innocent. There is not a single shred of fashion sense in the mask's costume, but at least I can appreciate the great effort he must have put into making it. You two don't know, you can buy his costume almost anywhere now. It's being sold. Since when? Since around New Year's. The streets are practically flooded with them. Turns out the mask is a lot more popular than I thought it'd be. I can't believe that a foolish fool would dress in foolish clothing so act foolishly. You got your point about three foolishes back, Francisco. What is he holding? It looks like a piece of paper from a notepad. It would appear that directions on how to reach this room were written by hand. There's something written on the back as well. I'd like you to steal the prima duck statue in this room. What is that supposed to mean? Who writes a note to themselves like that? If I had to guess from the text, I would say that this is actually a request from someone about what to steal. Just who is this person that requested the theft of the prima duck statue? Anything else? I suppose that this was wrapping cloth the mask's second used to carry his stolen goods. But there's nothing wrapped in it now. And I guess he never did manage to get his hands on whatever it was he was out to steal. Anything else?
thought that the mask had quit the business.
Oh, I thought that the mask had quit the business. This guy's just a copycat using his name. A phony successor. He's just another petty thief. His real identity is an out-of-work guy by the name of Kashi Noon. He's 29 and wanted on larceny charges. From his clothes and money was carried. We determined that this guy is the real domestic second.
The cause of death appears to be loss of blood from the back of his head. It seems that he was struck with something very hard. In other words, he was bludgeoned to death. Was there anything else here? I think not. It's a fireplace, and by the looks of it, I don't think it's been used recently. Yes, I can't say that I see anything unusual about it. There was the exact same statue sitting in that Ablaze office we examined. It's the Turnabout statue. It was the national treasure of the Principality of Codopia. There was only one of these statues, meaning that one of the two is a replica. But both Ablaze and Babal claim to have the real thing. It's an incredibly childish fight to have. I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious-looking nook and cranny. There was almost the exact same wall mount from knives on the Ablaze side, but I can't see any of the details from this distance. It's a Turnabout statue. There were one of these on the Ablaze side as well. I hear it's very valuable and made of pure gold. It was the national treasure of Codopia. There was only one of these statues, meaning that the other one of the two is a replica. But both Ablaze and Babal claim to have the real thing and won't budge from their claim. What an incredibly challenging fight to have. I feel like I already said all of that. The counterpart to the Ablaze butterfly is the alabastrian flower. It's the butterfly and the flower. They are both lovely things. But can we interpret this meaning that Ablaze provides honey to Babal? Francisco, can't you come up with a more meaningful or profound comment? Very well then, let's hear what sort of profound comments you can come up with. Well, flowers cannot survive without the butterflies that spread their pollen, and butterflies cannot live without the nectar that flowers provide. If either of those were to disappear from the equation, neither would survive. How was that, Miss Montcalmer? Your explanation took so long that I nearly fell asleep. Well, let's continue the investigation. Francisco, why can't you just admit I had something there? Okay. Let's look at the knives. There are some weapons on display on this wall. Crossbow, and under that, a set of knives bearing a flower motif. They must be the counterparts to the Ablaze knives, which means that the blades inside these scabbards should match the blades that were used to kill Mr. Cochin. I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious-looking nook and cranny. I had a penny for every time I said that. I'd have a few pennies. It's the still samurai's primary weapon, the samurai spear. Isn't it awesome? I totally fell for this thing. It's sleek and shiny, just like my heart. It comes at you like whoosh. When you hold it, you just want to live life like bam. You do well to watch what you say, Larry. Although it is just as Larry says, the spear is quite the symbol of valor. However, speaking of spears, aren't you supposed to use them by thrusting the point straight into your opponent? I'm not entirely convinced the spear is up to the task. What's wrong, Edgy? You're just staring off into the distance. Oh, I get it. Tell you what, I'll tell the studio to make you one, okay? But this one's mine. Did I say something about wanting one? Maybe I can shut him up if I show him the piece of evidence that will point something out about this spear. What? No. This? Is it his silly drawing? Eureka! Larry, about the spear. Oh, are you feeling it? Bam! I thought there was something strange about this spear. Tell me, Larry, is it just me or is the spear a bit bent? What? No way! It's exactly as it should be, yo! I have here the autograph you wrote for me earlier. Now take a good look at this, which you drew with your own hands. You can see that the spear is clearly of a different shape. Ah!
What do you have to say to that? I'm sorry. When I held the spear in my hands, all of a sudden I feel super powerful. And then, during practice, I was spinning it around and around, and bam, it hit the wall. You unbelievable. This isn't empathy. But I've always been like that, ever since I was a kid. One time, on an overnight field trip, I bought a fake sword and played with it late that night. I'm just a useless, hot-blooded man. Larry, clarify that for me, will you? Okay, so it was some field trip and I began to shadow fight with myself? Not that. I meant that what you said earlier about spinning the spear and hitting the wall. Oh, that. It's no biggie. It's not like I left a hole or anything. That's not why I'm asking, Larry. The samurai spear is made of metal. I somehow doubt that a move as simple as spinning it around would cause it to bend. Man, Edgy, you're so naive. What? Where did that come from? Well, you keep calling it samurai spear, but it's not real. You can't really fight someone with it. Because it's hollow on the inside. You could hit it against practically anything and it would bend. Is that so? Don't tell me you thought it was real. Oh, but don't take it the wrong way. I just think that part of your personality is cute. I see. Your friendship truly is something special, Miles Edgeworth. No, that's not friendship. It's utter humiliation. Okay. Knives adorned with flowers are on display here. I suspect that these are the counterparts to the Ablaze knives. The blades of these knives should match the blade of the knife that killed Mr. Cochin. Wait, did I skip something? Oh, what? One of these knives is missing its blade. Let's see if the two pieces, the blade and handle, fit each other. It would appear that they fit together quite well, almost seamlessly. Then this means that an alabaster knife did find its way into the wall. But how? Why is there a weapon on display in a place like this? I wonder why there are no whips on display here. Ugh, this is creepy. What is that plan supposed to be? Oh, sister, can't you see that it's supposed to be a likeness of Ambassador Alba? Miles Edgeworth, it's so important that you have a lot more nerve telling me what to think. I look forward to your next salary assessment next month. You are deluding yourself if you think you have any control over that. I can spot absolutely no difference between this Primadoc statue and the vase. The statue's face looks a bit like that costume hero you like so very much. I only wonder why you Americans have such an affinity for this kind of face. The statue wasn't made by an American, you know. At least I don't suppose so. Do I have anything to deduce? No. No matter how hard you try, it will never be a necessity in our Shifu's investigation. That's a fact, but no matter how good he is, he's bound to overlook something. If you insult our Shifu and prepare to be punished... Oh, and how exactly would you punish us? Every investigator under Shifu's command will work to disrupt your investigation. Vindictive much? You did some investigating over in the Barbalese embassy too, right? I did. Is there a problem? Langzi says a wolf who aims to hunt for two rabbits at once. I believe the idiom you require is, he who runs after two hares will catch neither. Heh, a real wolf can catch both. I see, so what you're trying to say, seeing as how I am currently handling two cases? Heh, suit yourself. Don't say I didn't warn you. What the heck? What else am I supposed to look at? This desk? This must be Ambassador Alba's desk. His notebook is open on the desk. He must have been in... Oh, his notebook is open on the desk. He must have been in the middle of some important work. Sapling growth log. It's finally sprouted today. Funny, it doesn't look like important work to me. Those two gorgeous flowers are in full bloom here. I'm sure flowers as lovely as these must have had an equally lovely name. Miles Edgeworth, are you done staring? I should hardly think passion flowers are all that rare. Passion flowers? That's a rather unusual name. It was named by priests in the 15th century for the Passion of Christ. As they say, you learn something new every day.
I actually seen these flowers before. They used to have them in my primary school. I didn't know they were called passion flowers. The person shaking hands with the still samurai in this picture is Ambassador Alba. It was taken just before the murder. Still samurai must be very popular. They're even using the national treasure as backdrop. I just don't understand what's exactly so great about the top knot there. Clearly there's a depth to the show that a young person like you can't fathom. Speaking of young people, aren't young children the target audience of this show of costumed actors? I feel like I've looked at everything. Maybe not the flower. The counterpart to the Ablaze butterfly is the alabastrian flower. The butterfly and the flower, they're both lovely things. Oh my god, I've already read this. Clock? There was a grandfather clock just like this one in the Ablaze embassy. You know, symmetry is a fine thing, but their interior design really suffers for it. Really, I think this clock actually fits the decor of this room quite well. I suppose the wood does suit the all-natural atmosphere of this room. Its design and the materials made of strikes as good as balance with the hands. Hey, you two, now's not the time to be talking about interior decorating, you know. Hurry up and save me! Be quiet. Ugh. This is all about my elite investigation. All you need to do is be quiet and watch. Actually, I do believe Larry has a point for once. Larry, about the samurai sword that was used as the murder weapon. Oh, that. Well, I shook hands with the ambassador in his room, you know. Yes, apparently you did. And well, I totally forgot about it and left it behind when I left afterwards. You want to talk about shocked? I was the most shocked of all when I heard it killed someone. Shocked! Foolish fool, looking especially foolish for foolishly stating such a foolish excuse. You forgot to take something that big with you. Who would believe such a tale? Hold it! Sorry, Miss Wonkama, but I believe him. Because if anyone could forget something like that, it would be Larry. Edgy, you believe me? I just knew that our friendship is something special. Anyway, even if Larry had simply forgotten his sword and left it behind, that in no way clears his name, which means that I will have to prove his innocence from a different angle. I haven't got anything to do. And I've spoken to everybody. I think I've looked at everything, honestly. I've looked at these plants. There are decorative plants here as well. This room is overflowing with nature. Humans used to live in the grandeur of nature once long ago. I believe I'm not mistaken in thinking that those people truly love nature. It's coming from a man who loves shows featuring costume actors. She just had to go there again, didn't she? Does that show something? Oh hey, it's still Samurai! I want you to answer this for me, Larry, and depending on the answer I may let you live. Still Samurai that was up there on that stage, was that really you? Yep, sure was. Larry! You! Steel Samurai Sushi Slash! I was moved by the performance of this man. This completely useless, worthless bum. I fear I may never recover from this. Oh my god. Edgeworth, that was so mean. I don't know what I'm supposed to do now, though. No, not a clue. You didn't even look at it. In that case, allow me to help you sear my phone into you for all eternity. Ah! Whip with you, whip! Trip! Oh. Now this is a trip I'm willing to endorse, especially if we can finally get some peace here. I'm stuck. I don't know what to be doing right now. Yes. I'm fully disordered in this room myself, which is why we need to investigate some more. Okay, investigate the room. It's a statue of the founder of Colombia, Prima BUTZ. Because it's a national treasure, I've heard that only a few have access to it. That's exactly right, even we're not allowed to touch it. Not without the ambassador's permission, anyway. We even lay a single finger on it, bam, it's instant jail time. Understood. So it's that precious of a national treasure that a single touch can lead to arrest. And yet, I sense there's something off about the statue. Okay. I must have missed something. Oh, it's facing a different way. Look at this photo and tell me what you find odd about the scene, Miss Von Carlo. You panic joy in the ambassador's face as he shakes that top-notch hand. That's not it. I was trying to point out that the statue in the photo is facing a different way. You're right. This statue is a national treasure. As such, only an ambassador or a secretariat-level person is allowed to handle it. The fact that the statue is facing one way in this photo, and now it's facing a different direction in this preserved crime scene, is proof that somebody touched the statue around the time of the crime. I guess that about wraps up my investigation. That's... Yo, Pink Princess, how you feeling? Still feeling ill? And yet another strange character comes out of the woodwork. And so, the Pink Princess also comes to pay the Alabastian Embassy a visit. I believe I may need to speak with her as well. Miss Pink Princess, I have a few questions I'd like to ask you. Miss Pink Princess, if you would please answer. Me? This must be what they call fate. How could this happen 2 days in a row? What the? Aren't you Miss Oldbag? Why are you surprised? No, you're the only one they let to play this. Oh my god, I can't read a single word today. Ah, so you're the one they got to play the Steel Samurai. It's too bad I didn't realise that until now. Your acquaintance is with Larry. Oh yes, we worked at the same company for a little while, you know. That's why it's okay, my edgy poo, you don't need to be jealous. Ugh. I was in the next room, you know, trying to get in some beauty sleep. But it was so noisy here that I couldn't fall asleep, so I came over to complain. So imagine my shock when I saw my precious edgy poo waiting here for me. I mean, who could have imagined that you would ever come to a show like this? Guess I've misjudged you, edgy poo. You misjudged him? I thought he was trying to avoid me, you know. That was no misjudgment on your part. That's precisely what I was trying to do. But it looks like the winds have shifted and he's now willing to be chased after. I'm simply overwhelmed. Don't you worry, Edgy Poo, I chase you forever. To the ends of the earth. Isn't that just peachy? This is one of those rare times when Francisco and I actually see eye to eye. Now then, what are you doing here? I thought you were working at Gatewaterland as the Pink Badger. What are you talking about? That was ages ago. That was yesterday. Look, I worked at the Global Studios before a long time ago, okay? Well, they called me up this morning kind of out of the blue, actually. They called you. Apparently the girl who played the Pink Princess collapsed from a bad cold. It happened so suddenly, so they called me in to be her last-minute replacement. Did they not have enough people on staff at that studio? I really couldn't say no, so here I am playing the role of the heroine. Instead of that Mindy girl, I mean. But the poor girl, I feel so bad for her. Because they let me stand in for her, she's going to have a terrible time when she returns. I mean, I'm not exactly reading strange things. I'll be able to every second, and I tripped over that fruit of Ragdoll instead of Shuriken, and then the audience was such an uproar because I tell you, they're really just a bunch of sympathies. Oh my god. You're a rather lively old lady. So basically, you received the stand-in request this morning, correct? You got it. If you need to see it, I've got it right here, look. It appears that she is telling the truth. tell you, my fine acting moved the entire audience to tears.
Yes, tears of laughter, as I recall.
But being famous has its problems too, you know. Here, take a look at this. It's a letter from a stalker. I was just taking my break when I found it stuck under the door to my room. Honestly, you really have to watch out for these kinds of things. Look at what it says. Wendy, I'll be descending on you from above tonight. Your loving knight. How absolutely revolting. I mean, you'd think you could get my name right. There's no accent in my name.
Wait, this horrible handwriting. Where have I seen this before?
Ah, but now that you're here, Edgy Poo, I feel 100% safe.
Hey, where do I factor into this?
Bust that evil stalker man for my sake, wouldn't you, Edgy Poo?
Well, if you allow me the liberty to handle this in my own way, I'll gladly dispatch a detective to your house later.
Oh, come on, Edgy Poo, stop being so dismissive and playing hard to get.
What were you doing at the time of the crime?
What crime?
What?
After the show was over, I've had nothing but free time on my hands. So I used the fireplace in the room next door to keep my bad hip warm. Well, the murder occurred in the room right next to yours. Is that right? My cheekbone, I'm so scared. Hold me, caress me.
Hold it! If you could please not cling to my personage.
In any case, I take it then that you failed to show up at Ambassador Alba's speech. No, Dad, no, I didn't go. I mean, I may have the heart of a young tender maiden, but my body just refuses to cooperate at times. As soon as the show ended, my hips started acting up and got stiff. I couldn't move at all.
Can you provide proof of your condition?
Or you just go on and ask the doctors in the infirmary. They're the ones who carried me from the theatre all the way to the embassy.
I have to admit, the thought of her not being able to leave that room is rather pleasant. Prosecutor Von Carl, I've brought the police dog as you requested, sir.
Good work. You may leave now, officer.
This dog.
You requested the assistance of the dog in our search for the Atrakadasu.
Looks like you guys have some pretty bright dogs in this country, too. Woof. Hey, you're a real cutie, aren't you? Yeah, that's a good boy. That's the police dog Gumshoe's been taken care of. I think his name is Missile.
What a fitting name for a police dog that dashes in and front out and attacks.
That action alone isn't exactly what's going to solve the case for us, you know.
No, Missile, I want you to find some clues. Go!
Woof.
Good dog, you really are quite bright, aren't you? Unlike a certain somebody. Now, what do we have here? What is this? It looks like a small hot dog, but...
Wait, Francisca, isn't that an official samurai dog?
Ah! No! Bad, Missile! He ate it. I wonder if it's alright for him to eat that.
It's just a meat substance snack featuring a steel samurai. I'm sure he'll be fine.
It's quite a bit of information you got there in a single quick glance.
We should really be focusing on why there was a samurai dog there in the first place.
It looks like the snack wasn't all Missile found.
Oh, what do we have here?
It appears to be a lady's undershirt. I wonder if Ambassador Alba might have an interest in cross-dressing.
I somehow doubt that. It doesn't look like the shirt would even fit in. A samurai dog and a lady's undershirt. What are these two items doing in a room like this? Given the circumstances, the lady's undershirt could only belong to one person. I suppose I should get this over with and ask the owner of said undershirt about it.
If you could please take a look at this brown-coloured undershirt. Oh, Edgy Poo, what is the meaning of this? Why did you steal that thing from my bags? All you had to do was ask, and I would have gladly given you as many as you'd like.
Nah, thanks, but no thanks. This shirt was found at the scene of the crime.
What?
Come now, why don't you just confess and explain what it's doing here?
I know nothing, I tell you.
What?
Oh, I admit it, that I used the fireplace to dry that shirt. But I can't really help the fact that I had to, you know. Wearing a pink princess costume was like being in a sauna. And on top of that, I get fingered as a suspect. You're too cruel, Edgy Poo.
Are you claiming that you never once set foot inside this room?
Of course I am. If I had been the one to find the body, do you think I'd be as calm and relaxed as I am? I tell you, it's always like this. It's always my fault for some reason or another. Some child missing, the camera's missing, they're missing. Speaking of missing, there's a matter with my husband. When we got married, he said, I'm going to start marrying you. Proposes that. Blah, 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 blah.
Well, I don't believe she's lying about her actions. So I can safely assume she really was trying her. Hang on, she has a husband. She has a husband. Somehow the undershirt managed to move from the next room into this one. I assume the samurai dog was also yours.
Oh, that's brilliant mind of yours. You really can see through everything about me.
So the feeling of dread continues. I suppose I should ask for more details. The samurai dog was yours, wasn't it?
Oh, of course, I'm forever yours, my edgy wedgy poo.
Hold it!
If you could please just stick to what I asked you. Edgy, are you and Miss Old Bay?
No! You really don't change, do you? When will you learn how to take a joke? Anyway, that samurai dog wasn't mine. These things are a present from the studio to the embassy.
A present? Studio bigwigs basically told us to play delivery boys. We were supposed to hand the dogs off to the embassy people and tell them hi. I had to pile them into a pushcart just to move them all. Those studio guys should have delivered those things by themselves, right, Edgy? So, did you deliver the samurai dogs to the embassy staff as per your instructions?
Hey, Edgy, don't just ignore me in my question. Aren't you going to stick up for me? No, about that. See, after the show, I went to rest a spell in the dressing room. Because of my bad hip, you know. And there they were, the samurai dogs were just sitting on the dressing room floor. I suppose you had to make preparations for distributing them after the show. Well, if by preparation you mean sampling them as well.
Excuse me?
Oh, I tried one and I thought they were actually quite good. Sorry, but I just had to find out. I know it was silly of me to think this, but I figured that since they're for a kids show, their taste was probably for kids too. But they were so good that I couldn't stop. Before I went back to my room, I just had to help myself to a half a dozen or so boxes. As I sat there by the roaring fire, warming them and eating them, I thought, this is... what is it now? Oh, I know. I bet you want a box too, don't you, my edgy poo? Well, who am I to say no to you, but I'll only give you one, the rest are all for me. Looks like the lesson for today is that when the Steel Samurai and the Pink Princess take off their masks, they transform into a pair of annoying troublemakers.
That should have some logic. Smoke from chimney, use fireplace. On the shelf next door. There is no trace of this room's fireplace being used.
And your point is?
Smoke was supposedly pouring out of the chimney connected to his fireplace, at least according to Larry. This is a contradiction of facts, is it not?
Are you sure he wasn't just disoriented or something up on that roof?
There is testimony from an investigator that puts Larry at this particular chimney, so no, I don't think it was a mistaken impression on Larry's part. On the other hand, the fireplace in the next room is being used at the time. Where do you suppose the smoke from that fireplace went?
I see. So what you're proposing is this. The smoke that came out of the chimney was actually from Miss Oldbag's fire. So basically, the fireplace of the neighbouring rooms share one chimney. Is that what you're implying?
Precisely.
The lady's undershirt that Missile found.
No.
Why are you getting all excited over holding onto a lady's undergarment? Miles Edgeworth, you uncouth sea slug. If you know the owner of such undershirt, then hurry up and return it to her already.
You heard it all wrong. This is evidence. An owner of this piece of evidence was in the room next door. And yet, despite that, Missile found it in the fireplace in this room. This lady's undershirt.
Are you seriously claiming that it somehow passed through a solid brick wall? Not quite. The fireplace in this room is connected to a chimney. The other fireplace in the other room is also connected to the same chimney, leading us to the possibility that the two fireplaces are connected to each other. Perhaps a closer look at the back of the fireplace is in order. There is an X on the back of the wall of the fireplace. Let's see if I can't get a better look at it. What in the... The wall separating the room's fireplace from the next room's fireplace apparently turns. As I suspected, the fireplace does indeed connect this room to the neighbouring room. The neighbouring room? There appears to be nothing particular about the next room, but the fact that there is nothing special about the next room isn't what's important. It's the fact that there is a secret passageway through this room's fireplace. We now know that the fireplace connects to two rooms, but how exactly is that significant? You're not going to suddenly name the old lady as Demas II's killer now, are you? No, she couldn't move at all because of her stiff hip, so she could not have been the one. Unfortunately, I believe that this fireplace has nothing whatsoever to do with Demas II's murder. It would appear that this answer has made itself known. You're making quite a confident face there, Mr. Prosecutor. Bring it on, I'm ready to counter any argument you may have. Very well then, if you are prepared, I'll show you exactly where my deductions have led me. Good, I'm counting on you, Edgy. Leave it to me, Larry. My first attack will be to expose your lie for what it really is. My lie? I know that there is still something you are keeping from the rest of us. What's wrong with you? Why is it you won't believe me no matter what I say, Edgy? Curse you, I should have just hurry up and die already if that's how it's gonna be. I'll confess to every murder in the whole world, and then kill myself. Oh my god, and throw everything into mass confusion. Heh, you made some wonderful friends as a child, I see. Larry, I only have one thing to say to you. Even if you make that face at me, it's no use. A man who is ready to die is strong-willed, you know. Larry, it doesn't matter what sort of harebrained trouble you've caused. I only ask that you do not lie to me. If you cause an innocent person to be judged unfairly because of some insipid lie, I will never forgive you. Edgy. Although allow me to say that I consider you to be among the innocent in this case, that I will draw the real killer out. You can trust me on this. All right, this time I'll tell you the whole truth, okay? What didn't happen, the works. Just what happened will do. Now then, if you would please testify as to what you did up on the roof tonight. Okay, I think I'm gonna save it here for now, because my voice is getting a bit raspy. See you guys in the next one. Laters.